Yeah, I just started off, You know, when you play a game like that, it was a heck of a football game. For the second week in a row, our guys competed hard, but that's not what we're out there to try to do. We're out there to try to win. And the one thing I wanted to make clear in the locker room was that it's a team loss. You know, the offense's job is to outscore them by at least 1 point, and the defense's job is to hold them to one less point, and special teams got to give us some plays. So we didn't accomplish that. I am proud of how hard they competed. I'm proud of how hard they prepared for it, and the fact that we continued to come back and get in a position to give us a chance. We're just not. We're just making too many mistakes right now to be able to just score every time we have the ball. And defensively, we came up with some stops at times. We defended the run better at times. But then we rushed past the quarterback a number of times. And a guy that can run like that, you can't rush past the quarterback. And we had our defensive tackles and ends at least 4 times, all past the depth of the quarterback. And they ended up killing us with that. So there's a lot of good. There's a lot of things to correct. One thing's for sure, we're going to keep working hard at it. We're going to have a good attitude, and we're going to keep competing and find a way to win.
Playing from behind like that the whole game, did you just feel like you were just kind of waiting for that break or waiting for that moment, and it just kind of didn't come?
Yeah, I just kept waiting for a turnover. You know, at some point we're going to get some turnovers. So I felt like you get in that position that we have a opportunity to get a turnover and something good will happen. And obviously they're a very good football team, and they're executing very well on offense right now, and we just weren't able to get the ball out.
How difficult is it managing what you guys have got, especially on the interior of the defensive line, just with the injuries you've had and just lack of overall depth, having to play 95 and 5 so much also?
Yeah, we're trying to rotate them in as much as possible and try to keep them healthy and fresh, but they are playing a number of snaps. We're the depth on that in that position is not where you'd like it to be.
I guess Monday you kind of mentioned how good they were up front. I'm curious what you saw from your offensive line and your defensive line going against Texas A&M at the line of scrimmage today.
I mean, they're very good on both fronts. That's a huge offensive line with a ton of experience. You know, most of those guys have been playing together. This will be their 3rd year together. So we didn't get to the quarterback like we needed to. We did get down to some runs and gave us a chance to get the ball back at times, but not enough. Defensive front-wise, there were times where I felt like we did a really nice job of run blocking them and open up holes, and Mike's running really hard, Braylon's running really hard. We gave up some protection things late in the game that really hurt us, and the negative plays by Talon he's got to throw the ball away. He's got to get out of the pocket. Coming out, we tried a double move. He got pressure, and instead of just getting outside the tackle and throwing it out of bounds, we took that huge loss, and that ended up being, something that killed us in the game.
You mentioned Talon, the injury in the second quarter to come back. I mean, what did you see from him, especially when he came back into the game? How much of a boost did that give you, his ability to go score those 2 touchdowns before the half?
Yeah, I mean, he's tough as they come. He's as tough as they come. He competed extremely hard and, threw the ball, ran the ball, operated the offense, changed protections, did everything he possibly could do to come up to get us the win. So, to be able to come back in the game like that, I didn't know how hurt he was until the trainer came and talked to me, and I was a little bit surprised that he was going to be able to come back in the game, but when he did, he was full speed and ready to go.
You gashed him pretty good with the run game, particularly in the first half. What was particularly working? What did you feel would work, and what was working?
Yeah, I think Mike was working. He was hitting the holes and making yards and almost breaking him. But the O-line was doing a nice job of opening them up. We ran the ball early, kind of out of 4 wides, and spread them out a little bit, and that helped us on certain drives. And then, we just did a good job of mixing it up, and the O-line blocking their 2 inside guys. Their linebackers are really good football players, really smart. They're not big, but their interior guys are a load. And if we could keep them covered up, and then we get the ball to the second level, we had a chance.
What do you think of Reed's poise? You know, you're 2 years removed from coaching him, but what do you think of his poise and how he led their team tonight?
Yeah, I thought he played really well. You know, unfortunately for us, he's done a nice job of really maturing and growing up, and he made a lot of good throws, and the runs killed us.
You spoke as if you're very confident that the team's going to keep competing. Is that what you've maybe sensed in the locker room afterwards?
We're going to keep competing. No question about it. These are good kids. They have stuck together, and we're going to keep building on. It's not going to be the last time in their life they go through hard times. It's going to mean a lot more when they have kids, and the alarm clock goes off at 6 a.m. and they don't feel good. They get up and go to work and do a good job anyway. That's what this is supposed to be about. So we're just going to keep pounding at that, and I feel good about them. Every time I talk to them, they're very attentive. They look me in the eyes, and they want to win games. They want to win football games. We've got to give them a better opportunity as a staff to get that victory.
Team loss, but what'd you make of a loud fourth quarter crowd compared to where that was weeks ago?
Oh, the crowd was awesome. I know the players were very, very appreciative all 4 quarters at the energy that they brought, and the second quarter really stood out to me, how loud they were when we went and were able to score twice. So it was awesome to have that crowd there and the fans out there, and we've got to continue to give them a good product, but with a win.
Been with Jaden Platt for a few years now. How good was it to see him make that diving catch in the back corner?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm sorry, I got blocked out, so I wasn't able to see that. But I did hear the crowd, and when they roared, I was like, all right, nice. But it must have been a heck of a throw because I know he wasn't real open. So it must have been a great throw and a great catch. And that's how you score touchdowns. Both guys make a great play.
In the second quarter, maybe with like 3 minutes left, I'm thinking like you guys really need to get down and get a touchdown, but you got 2 of them in a short amount of time. How big was that surge for you guys going into halftime from a momentum standpoint?
Yeah, it gave us a lot of momentum. You could see it in the players, and you could feel it on the sideline. And, we were able to get the ball back there right at the end, 50-some seconds to go, and drive down and get a touchdown. That was a nice job, and a credit to, our offensive line, because I thought on that drive we had really, really good protection.
Mistakes because Talon gave you guys so much, but what happened on that 4th down call at midfield, the 4th and 1?
Oh, he missed a guy wide open, He got spooked by the safety heading that way and just missed a guy wide open. And it's an unfortunate thing that happened, but it did happen.
Turnovers, and I don't think you've had a takeaway since Memphis. Is there something in particular the defense isn't doing that you need to improve on?
Well, turnovers come by pressuring the quarterback and hitting the quarterback and disrupting the quarterback, both fumbling and interceptions, because when you disrupt him and hit him as he's releasing the ball and getting tip balls, then you get interceptions. So some of it is our inability to get to the quarterback and pressure him enough and put enough pressure on him. I feel like we're getting a lot more people to the ball in the run game. We just haven't been able to get it out. So, got to hit a little harder. But I think it starts with getting more pressure on the quarterback.
Coach, you were talking about the technique and rushing the quarterback and how guys are getting upfield, and which is some basic teaching things you're going to have to do. Is that, you think, the key to making this defense get better the rest of the year? Some of the basic fundamentals and the run fits where a couple plays where you didn't have a linebacker in the right spot. Is that just going back and teaching the fundamentals to get them where they need to be?
Yeah, a combination of that and continuing to play with good energy and toughness. We were committing more guys to the run, which helped us at times. It also cost us a couple big plays in the passing game. So it's kind of that give and take. And, I think we need to get where we can bring more pressure and pressure the quarterback more and be able to, cover behind it.
A&M went 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions. Was there anything you felt like the defense should have done better on those plays. Obviously, they were short yardage and everything, but and then I guess a second part to that, how frustrating is it to not get off the field in those situations?
Yeah, it gets frustrating. I don't really think it was anything our defense could have done and should have done. I think it was playing an experienced offensive line and tight ends and that were really good at short yardage runs. And I thought we had him one time, and he got second effort and made it. But yeah, if we could just get one of those, we had an opportunity to change the game.
Did you consider using any timeouts in the final? Like I think it was a minute. Was it maybe a couple of chances to stop the clock there?
I did. I thought about it, and I think they threw an incomplete pass, so I didn't have to use one there. I was going to call one after their third down play and make sure that the clock was stopped, and then we'd get the ball back. I didn't want to call it after the second down play because I felt like we would need one in our pocket, but we didn't score quick enough to help us keep it in our pocket.
With about 38 seconds left or so, you could have kicked the field goal and then tried to get the onside, but what was your thinking there? Just wanted to get the touchdown first?
Yeah, I just wanted to throw it in the end zone and score. Coach, appreciate you. Okay.